Luke, can you see and hear us? All right. Luke, if you want to go ahead and turn your mic on.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, Luke
So,
Henne, if I need permission to record. Sorry, Luke
I'm
Holman.
good with that. Yeah.
Wanted to get the Luke H's all straight, who I was addressing.
go ahead and try it now, Trent. It says on my end that you should be able to. If not, it'll be available in the
Yeah,
Google.
it's fine. I'll get it from you later.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Like I said, I'm now the second most important Luke H on this call. We are joined by Luke Holman, the 71st overall selection in the draft by the Reds. So, Luke, thank you for taking some time to join us, and we'll go ahead and jump right into questions.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well, Luke, first of all, congratulations. And secondly, we were here last night talking to Chase Burns and saying, "Hey, you're able to talk to your well, I guess he wasn't his teammate, and Rhett Lauder. You are able to talk to one of your former teammates and Ty Floyd about joining the Reds. Have you been able to do that? And kind of what was one of your first reactions to being picked by the Reds?
Excited. I mean, your dreams always you want to get drafted, and you just seeing your name pop up. It's kind of exciting. So
Did you talk to Floyd?
I've not talked to Floyd. No, I didn't get to play with him, so I didn't know him too well. So
Oh,
um,
I guess I was wrong. I should do homework next time. Sorry about that.
you're
I mean,
good.
I know
Yeah, I
you
was
did
at
great.
Alabama, and then I transferred when he got drafted. So
That was gonna be my question. Is you transferred after 2 years at Alabama? What kind of A motivated you to make the move, and B, how did finishing you're doing the 1 year at LSU kind of put you in this position?
Yeah, I'd say, my confidence, grew a lot at LSU, and, I got a routine down, and, kind of just, really got better at pitching, the pitching sides of things, and, learning to pitch off my stuff. And I think, I became a really good pitcher there on, with my slider and, just where I'm throwing my pitches and just learning about myself as well. So.
Everyone just talks about your old school feel or knack for pitching. Kind of where does that come from, and how have you become kind of at a young age a guy who's able to mix a bunch of pitches, read hitters, and do all those types of things?
I'd say just over the years, just pitching and, learning off stuff. I think, struggling my freshman year of college really, made me work during the summer. And then that sophomore year, it's not just about throwing stuff, down the middle or anything like that. You got to, learn how to throw stuff off each other, learn to recognize hitters, how they take pitches and all that type of stuff. So there's a lot deeper stuff going on in pitching and when you're thinking. And I think I grew up a lot too, and kind of, learned, every year to get better. So
Coach Johnson said that you could throw any of your pitches at any count. Is that part of that maturation and that learning? And what are those pitches, and kind of how do you see those pitches working?
yeah. So slider, I kind of, use a slider a lot this year. And then I've kind of had that pitch for 2 years, so it's still in growing, I'd say. And then my curveball, my 12-6 curveball, I've had that since I was 12. So that's always been there. It's a very good pitch. I didn't use it much this year. And then also a split finger. I kind of just, you started using that this year, and it's a really good pitch. I threw it like 4 times a game, 3 times a game, so I don't have, full confidence in it, but I'm excited to, get that thing working as well. So.
Luke, congratulations. You were drafted, I believe, in the 20th round by the Blue Jays several years ago. Why do you think the college experience helped you grow as a pitcher as opposed to entering into professional baseball earlier?
Yeah, I'd say maturing. I mean, when you're 18, you don't know what goes on, in the majors and the pros. You're playing with 24-year-olds, and you're kind of just living away from home. And I think college is a great way to grow up. Learn more about yourself. And out of high school, it's fastball, curveball. Facing high schoolers. Getting everyone out, and then I think going to college for 3 years and making that big jump really is going to prepare me a lot better than coming out of high school. So.
Luke, when you were a younger kid, I think when you're about 7 or 8, I saw that you dealt with childhood cancer and recovered after about a year or so. But what kind of that experience you went through? What did that kind of do to shape your childhood and also your in a way your baseball career?
Yeah, growing up, when I heard the news and all that, I kind of didn't really think I'd somewhat future in baseball or sports because I was taking chemo. I was a lot weaker than I thought, and I was looking at big leaguers and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how to get to where they're at. So, and then hearing John Lester, pitcher for the Red Sox at the time, had the same cancer, the same spot as me. So, seeing that really made me think I can have a bright future if I just keep putting the work in and keep going at it. So, kind of just never stopping and just keep working hard. So.
When did you feel like not only were you in the clear of the cancer, but that actually baseball, an elite baseball life could be even possible? At one point, did you clear that hurdle and then look at this, obviously a much more fun hurdle to try to clear?
Yeah. So, coming off chemo, you're a lot smaller than everyone. So I didn't have much velo. So I was kind of, picking around corners and learning how to pitch, honestly. So, after 5 years, the body cells kind of renew and all the cells, 5 years ago are different than what you have now. So I'd say around, 5 to 7 years later, I kind of started to become pretty good at baseball. And, I was pitching really well. I was hitting really well. And that's kind of when I knew, baseball is going to be a fun path to take. So,
And what type of cancer was it again, just to make sure?
lymphoma.
Have you ever reached out to John Lester, Luke?
I did when I had cancer. So he sent me dirt from Fenway and then also a signed ball as well. So it's pretty cool.
What was the recruitment like getting to Alabama?
Yeah, so I didn't, I heard, I was kind of the first school I heard from was LSU, honestly. Verbally, I went to a camp. They were kind of talking to me about, committing and all that type of stuff. But it was honestly, after, I threw somewhere, Alabama got in the picture. I was always an Alabama football fan growing up. So, I kind of went down there and, I wouldn't say I had a bunch of big recruits out of high school. I'd say I had a couple SEC schools and then, a lot of schools around where I live. And so when I heard Alabama, I kind of just decided, hey, I'm going to go there. It's the SEC. I always want to pitch down south. So it's kind of an easy choice there.
Are you in Baton Rouge now, or are you back in Pennsylvania?
Back in Pennsylvania. So I did the draft with my family here at my house. So
What was that day like, or last night like?
it was pretty cool. I mean, it was exciting. And I'm kind of ready to get started to be a pro. And I'm a pro right now. So I'm excited to start this journey.
Did you, you being at Alabama when he was at Tennessee, did you see Chase Burns and kind of what were some of your impressions of him?
I did freshman year, saw him in person. I mean, I saw him, in the PBR events and all that, throwing like 100. So, and I saw he went to school, and I'm like, I don't know how he didn't get drafted out of high school, but him going to college, seeing him, get older and just stuff was pretty fun to watch as well. So.
Any other questions? We all good? All right. Thank you, Luke, guys. This will be available in Google Drive and on Red's Press Box. So thank you all for joining us, Luke.